Hey everybody, welcome to Spilling the IT. Okay, my hair's good. Uh,
Looks
what's
fantastic. Nice
right?
cut.
Uh,
Very looking sharp, Paul. Looking sharp on August 30th, 2021.
ooh, smooth
Getting
transition to
after
the
the
date.
day.
Adam, you're looking good too. Love the hair. Love what you're doing. Oh man, welcome to a new week, everybody. The last second to the last day of August, which doesn't mean anything. Just thought I'd share that.
Yep. Fantastic. Another
You should.
31-day month, Paul.
You know what? Maybe Adam, one of these weeks, you should do the intro. I feel like, you know, you might
I've
take
been
us to the
watching
next level.
I've been watching podcasts and listening to podcasts, and I think that there's a standard intro that people do. There's a standard kind of walk in that people do.
Hmm.
And you know what? I say no. I say no to the standard intro. I say no, thank you to the bumper music and to the canned. Today we're here to talk about technology excellence, and we really appreciate blah, blah. No, no, we're talking about hair. We're
Hmm.
talking about terrible TV shows.
Hmm.
We're talking about really bad analogies about movies. Welcome
So,
to Spelling
so
the
if I,
IT.
so what you're saying, Adam, for the last year, you've been letting me do something which you're not a fan of, which is just like, hey, everybody, welcome to another
No,
episode of Spilling the IT.
no, because you blow it every time, and it's fantastic.
I do. That's true. I do blow it. Um,
Yeah, we
yeah.
haven't we haven't got we haven't got music, timing, intro. It's like playing golf with a 9-year-old. You can't tie the tee shot to the middle to the putt. Doesn't we're not tying it together, which is fantastic, which is
Hmm.
raw. It's real. And I appreciate you, Paul.
And that's Adam. That's why people come back every week to watch a 9-year-old try to play golf.
There's some good 9-year-olds playing golf though. I don't know. There's
Yeah,
some good future Tiger Woods out there.
yeah. Actually, I
You
feel
know.
like you're doing me a favor calling me a 9-year-old playing golf, Adam, because there are
Yeah.
some very talented 9-year-olds out there playing golf.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So today was pretty close. We got a little music, a little transition, called out the
It was good.
hair unprofessionally, but we're here. We're
We
here.
are here.
We're here. Doing spilling the IT, talking tech, and channel updates.
A lot going
So
on. A lot going on in the channel. A lot of things developing, constantly moving. Right now, it's kind of that weird end of summertime. Kids are going back to school. People are getting back after it. Budgets are changing. Companies are merging. Some cool stuff going on.
well, Adam, it's like I mentioned, it's the second of the last day of August.
Yeah, I mean,
It's nearly September.
who's the guy who said if a rifle's on stage in the first act, it better be referenced by the second act, or there's no point in it being there? It was a
Shakespeare.
perfect drawing. Was that
Classic.
Shakespeare?
No, it
Was
wasn't
that Shakespeare? I
Shakespeare.
didn't think so. I
It
didn't
was
think so.
Chekhov.
Someone.
Chekhov's
Chekhov?
gun, Adam. If you see it in the
Okay.
first act, you better use it by the second or third.
There, there you go. Check off. There you go. Well, so you had it knocked out. You referenced it in the first minute, and you tied back to it in the second minute. So check that off. Huh?
Also,
Oh, I'm not-
were you making a Chekhov joke, Adam?
It was a check off joke. I'll explain them as we go. We're good. Let's get into the IT news, huh? Before we completely burn this thing to the ground.
Okay. Um, boy, where was I going to go with that? Yeah, let's talk channel news. Adam, you know, I've been working on things. Let me show you.
I like it.
Look at that.
Very cool. Nice spread.
Look at
Well done.
that.
Well done.
Professionalism. So if it's your first time here, every week we try to focus in on either channel news or something that we feel like you need to know about the tech industry. And this week we thought let's just dive into all the stories because there's a lot of stories right now about the channel. What's happening? So, Adam, you mentioned this 5 companies that came to win this week. You want to dive into that?
Yeah, I like that one. That's always kind of a fun little update of what folks are doing out there in the channel. And the big news that came out early last week was not the idea, but the notification that Comcast bought picked up Masergy, which is pretty big deal. Masergy is a large security and network and SASE company in the channel. A lot of people have been selling Masergy to their clients. A lot of clients have been integrating it for a long time. It kind of provides that security bundled network service. Got some good things going on there, and now they're being integrated into the whole Comcast world. So, we work with a lot of partners who broker telecommunications and security services and data center. And Masergy was a very, very channel focused organization. A lot of their sales went through the brokerage and agent and technology consulting community. So,
Yeah, like
but
this,
this kind
right?
of stuff happens all the time.
Masergy
Yeah.
does 80% of its business through partners. I didn't know it was that high. That's
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, they've been doing SD. So SD-WAN has been a huge, talking point in the channel. And for folks who don't know, there's an army of consultants and technology focused brokers and people out there who help organizations make decisions around technology. They don't necessarily, provide the service or provide the intellectual property or the software or anything like that, but they help kind of marry. Hey, you're looking for this type of SD-WAN capability. Here's a good service provider who can do that for you. Yeah, it looks like 80% of Masergy's business was going through that that part of the world from a sales standpoint. So that's a big deal. Anytime anybody like that gets purchased, it's interesting to see how that gets incorporated into what Comcast is doing.
yeah. That seems that's going to change the landscape a little bit.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Good group. I know Comcast has a good channel program, and they keep going after, in our world, Comcast Business for telecommunications and point to point. We have that type of stuff in our data centers. We're a carrier neutral facility, so we've dropped that into our sites, and we have customers who use it and we use it. So it's all good. It's good to see how that'll work out.
So, second story, AWS sets MSSP beachhead with new security competency.
Yeah, this one was kind of cool to see. Interesting because there's a common misconception when people move to the cloud. They kind of sometimes will think like, well, now that I've moved my applications to AWS or to Azure or to G Suite or Google, they have the security portion of it. They're going to be helping me out from a security perspective. Not always the case, and this was interesting to see. Amazon Web Services is, looks like they're leveling into the services world, right? So they're getting involved in providing, at least like it says there in the article, a baseline of security for people who move to that cloud environment. Big misconception is that once you move to the cloud, that things are just kind of handled from a security standpoint. If you read the service level agreements, I think we did an episode earlier last year around service level agreements and understanding, what the hosting provider is actually doing versus, what you're responsible for as a consumer of their service. So this was interesting to see. They're going through the AWS partner network and layering in some security services, which will be interesting to see how that kind of happens.
Have you heard about? So they mentioned here AWS security services such as GuardDuty, Security Hub. Are you aware of those or what those do?
So one thing AWS does is they build out. They have a partner network, so they have people that build into their.
Oh, you just got muted there for a second.
Did I just lose audio there?
Yep, you're back now.
Sorry about that. It's a partner network play, so they basically keep people, building with their beans and bullets, if you will, different services. So it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Just a kind of a good way to. I was listening to a good podcast this week, and it was from my Off the Tape podcast I always talk about on here.
Hmm.
But everyone's kind of competing, and this isn't anything new, but everyone's competing for attention, right? Everyone's competing for. There are only so many hours in the day, so how are people going to spend that time? And AWS looks like what they're doing is they're continuing to build on the idea that, hey, everything and all things that you want can be provided from our channel of service providers,
Mm.
and we're also going to help secure things. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out for them as far as kind of doing that and managing that attention.
Interesting. Um,
Yeah.
so data observability tech developer Cribble? Crib? How do you say that?
No idea. What is that?
I don't know. Data observability tech developer Cribble scores 200 million in funding. Well, somebody knows how to say it because somebody said give this company 200 million dollars in funding.
Well, someone knows how to write it on a check. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
That seems like a company who was trying to find a short website and could not. So they're like, what if we just cut out some letter and call it a company?
Well, they got Sequoia in there, so I mean that's probably one of the largest backers in there. It's like basically like having Andreessen and a couple other dudes in there. So that's a big one.
So what
Looks
is
like a
I'm putting you on the spot, Adam. What is
yeah.
data observability pipeline technology? That sounds
Uh,
like a lot of words.
it's about 254 million. So yeah.
Let's see. Cribble's observability data engineering software, including its flagship Logstream system, is used to build pipelines for moving high volumes of machine log instrumentation, application, and metric data between operational, storage, analytical, and security systems. Okay.
So sounds like they got software and they get a bunch of you get a bunch of results, and logs sent back, and
Mm-hmm.
then it helps you make decisions based on that. So you got some analytics in there. Looks like you got a little security in there. So from a venture capital buzzword and high valuation standpoint, they got some good stuff in here. You got Internet of Things,
Mm-hmm.
you have machine learning, you have analytics and security.
Security
Oh, and you got
systems. That's got to be worth 50 million alone.
So yeah, it looks like it's analytics software that can pull a lot of different logs and metrics from different areas and help people make decisions. So it's kind of cool. I'm sure, no idea what it does,
That
but
is pretty cool.
looks like they're getting. I mean, right now there's such a struggle, and this might be a company that's helping to identify it. Such a struggle in the amount of data being produced, and okay, what do we do with it? Like,
Mm.
how do we actually make a decision based on all these different logs and events and metrics that are coming back? There's the ability to keep up with that decision making process based on all the inputs
Mm-hmm.
is overwhelming right now. Um, and anybody that can help do that or help present something that can help you do that. I mean, some of our largest application development projects
Mm-hmm.
are just around data visualization. They're just around helping CFOs and people, take something as simple as, okay, here's what we sold last quarter, here's what our pipeline is for next quarter, and how do we present that in a way that can help them forecast?
Mm-hmm.
People love that. People will pay a lot of money to
Like see
feel more
correctly or know what to see, know what to look at.
well, you can know what to look at, and it's good to have quality reports based on what's happened in the past. The problem is with that is, what does that actually mean for going forward?
Mm.
So you're constantly trying to figure out all the inputs as far as what happened in the past, but what's going to happen next. Um, you can put as much as you want in a spreadsheet. It doesn't mean it's actually true. It just
Mm.
means it's what you're forecasting. You might get close. You might get a standard deviation or two
Hmm.
away from where you're projecting you're going to go. And that's what all these guys are. These data scientists and these mathematicians, they're brilliant at figuring out standard deviations between what's most likely to happen and then what can happen on either side of it. But they're that's where like you have those 10 different inputs there. You got machine logs, you got log streams, you got instrumentation, you have application metrics and operational analytics. Those are a ton of inputs to try to figure out what decision to make.
Yeah, that is a lot. Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I like reading these stories because it's such a good indicator of where the industry is moving towards. Like where people are putting their money is a great indicator. Like, hey, there's a lot of interest in this area, and we think that this is the future.
Well, and that's absolutely true. Absolutely true is people are putting their money where they think. The scary thing right now is there's so much money. Like the cost of the I, I think I had about a C average in college, so don't quote me on this, but I was an econ major, and the money supply right now is just massive. So the amount of money that's in the system right now
Hmm.
chasing return is astronomical. I think that the M1 money supply has more than quadrupled in last year. Just the Federal Reserve continues to uh, some people you hear they're printing money.
Hmm.
They're basically making it extremely cheap to borrow. So these venture capital funds, what's kind of funny is they're borrowing at like 1 to 2% and
Hmm.
and trying to chase a ton of yield right now. So there's just a ton of money sloshing around. Um, so trying to figure out who's going to win on some of these projects is fun to watch. I have no idea. I mean, this is a good example. Like you and I had never heard of that company
Don't
before,
know.
and they just
Yeah,
got $250 million. Think about that, $250 million
amazing.
in the C series. That means that they've run a seed round, they've run an A and a B, and now they're on their Series C, and that's $250 million.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Adam makes a great point. His C average, don't quote him. I should also mention that I have an A average, but a communications major, so don't quote me. Um,
Hey, C's get degrees, Paul.
that's right. And communications, get the hell out quick. Uh, it's not challenging. Um, Story: Proofpoint wins 14 million jury verdict in trade secret theft case. Interesting. So, email security technology developer Proofpoint is owed 14 million this week after it prevailed in a court trial that charged competitor Vade Secure and its chief technology officer with theft of trade secrets and copyright infringement.
Wow. Well, Proofpoint just got bought by, I think Proofpoint just got bought by, I want to say Telma Bravo.
Okay.
Um, I think they got bought by them a little while ago, so that was a cool little uplift for Telma Bravo on that one. But yeah, it looks like Proofpoint's great technology, fantastic email security and anti-malware services. We actually are big fans of Proofpoint at Quest. We've been an MSSP for them for I think 10 years. Great stuff, and looks like someone got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, stealing some of their potentially allegedly, and in no way proved whatever. I'm not sure what caveats I need to put in there from a legal standpoint, but
I don't
looks
know.
like someone may have got a jury verdict passed against them on this one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a ton of intellectual property around how things are secured, and that's one of the things we love to see in the security space is, all these different all these different providers out there kind of building a better mousetrap and figuring out the best way to help protect end users. And we're a big fan of Proofpoint.
Nice.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Um, SAP officers, partners, pay as you go option, free service trials for its business technology platform. Wait, let me read that again because I was just reading
Roll it
words.
back.
Roll it back.
Roll it back.
Take two. Take two.
Roll it back.
SAP offers partners pay as you go option, free service trials for its business technology platform.
Yeah, SAP. That's cool. Catching up with Microsoft about 8 years later. So SAP, well, they do big stuff. I mean, they're huge.
Hmm.
They're giant. But like this is that consumption economics play, right? So this is the idea of incremental costs for software licensing. And SAP is a huge enterprise shop, so they do like um, you know um, you know multi-billion dollar, multi-million dollar deals um, for some of the largest Fortune 500, Fortune 50 companies out there. I mean, there's talks about in the CFO world about, hey, if you put your as you're going through your Series A, Series C, and going public
Hmm.
type funding rounds, having SAP as your financial system can actually help your multiple. It's not a trivial thing.
Mm.
And SAP is a huge shop, but it looks like they're adding on the subscription based services from what it looks like at a high level, kind of going through this article
Hmm.
and giving people the ability to develop on their platform prior to like just doing like a huge enterprise purchase. Because the way it used to go was you'd have to buy Oracle Financials or SAP or Microsoft Dynamics, and then kind of build your enterprise from that. Um, the pay-as-you-go option. You
Yeah.
know, um, Another thing that happened last week, I think Salesforce finally they reported their annual earnings after acquisition of Slack, and they kind of talked about that. But Salesforce was one of the first. Benioff was one of the first guys to go down this whole, hey, who cares about the underlying infrastructure? Just pay me a monthly recurring charge for
Hmm.
access to your CRM, and don't worry about all this legacy technology debt. Um, and he was right. And you can see like these types of moves, like SAP doing this now in 2021. Um, this has been going on for years, and they're trying to um,
Play catch up.
well, they're just they have to protect their install base, and they have to figure out what do people want. People want subscriptions. People
Yeah.
want to be able to turn things on and off, dial the knob up as they go, um, and looks like they're it's cool. Looks like they're addressing that with their model too. I mean, Microsoft's done huge this in here.
You know what's funny? And I don't know. This makes me. Do you ever find, and I find this a lot, that people complain about subscription models a lot, but they always seem to sign up for them. So it's like they hate
Mhm.
them, but at the same time they like them. I don't know. You ever wonder if it's one of those situations where, like, verbally, outwardly, they're like, I dislike it, but internally they're like, it's actually a great option. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the subscription models that stick are the ones that people make easy, right? So if you can make it easy to sign up,
Hmm.
and you can make it easy to consume, um, and almost like foolish to disconnect because you're getting so much added value by just paying that monthly recurring charge.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can complain about it, and if you back out the numbers, um, maybe it doesn't make sense, but so many people just want to add on incremental costs as they go. Um, it is a catch. It is a little bit of a people do complain about it, but if you make it easy for them to sign up, they typically don't they don't they don't remove services.
I wonder if it's so. Do you mind kind of just going down this rabbit hole for a second?
Jump, yeah, yeah.
Do you think it's a control issue that if you are buying what you need when you need it, people feel like, great, then I'm controlling the situation, even though it might be more expensive to do it that way? Because subscriptions are kind of, in a way, saying, like, all right, I will trust that this for a while will be work for me. And I don't know. I just wonder if it's kind of like a relinquishing control, saving money versus feeling in control of getting it when you need it, but ultimately paying more potentially.
Well, so I'd flip it if you want to play the thought experiment, like flip it to the idea of people who are afraid of flying versus driving,
Okay.
right? Like there, so you when you're in a plane, you're in a giant tube in the sky going a couple hundred miles an hour, and you have no control over the
Mm-hmm.
landing or taking off of that plane. You're basically, and there's a huge fear of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Huge fear of flying. Much lower risk of death or injury, but huge fear. So you have no control. A lot of people overestimate their ability to control their own, to kind of manage their own risk. Like
Mm.
everybody thinks they're a great driver, right?
Yeah.
You're probably not. You're probably maybe in the top 50%, maybe, but some of you probably shouldn't have a license.
That's true.
Um,
I'm often reminded, not a good driver, even though I feel like every time I get behind the wheel, I'm great.
yeah. So like that's the same kind of thing. Like automated driving experiences
Mm-hmm.
terrify people. You have a robot driving your car. God, no, I don't want that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But you have that instant kind of gut check. It's like, no, I don't want that to happen. I don't want to relinquish control over that. I'm going to make the right decision, and I will make the left turn or the right turn or merge lanes when it's most efficient. I
Mm-hmm.
can definitely do that better. So I think it's that same like bias around your own kind of capability bias, where you're kind of saying, no, I will know when to turn down utilization on those servers. I will know when to,
Mm.
when to turn down my user count. Does anybody actually ever do it? I don't know, but I think a lot of people kind of have that ego that no, I can, I can do better, and I'll manage to it. So you can make, I mean, you can make either model
Mm-hmm.
work in your favor based on the inputs that you put in it. If you manage your environment perfectly and you're always turning the knobs and the dials at the right time for subscription-based services, you can present a great ROI to the board of directors.
Mm-hmm.
But you better get that right. Or if you want to make a huge capital investment, you can depreciate that over 5 years, and you can make an argument with your CFO that I need to capitalize this subscription over 5 years and buy it this way. It's all in how you present the numbers. But I would agree with you. I think people have a natural bias to think that they can manage the dials and drive the car better than the robot.
Oh man, ego. What a problem.
Yeah.
um,
If it was network works fine until there are people involved.
um, anything else news-wise you want to talk that you've heard that you want to share before we jump into our next segment?
Um, let's see, we got that one going on. No, we're excited about some stuff coming up in the fall. Got some new announcements coming out. Um, new offerings for the channel. Got some new partners coming on board. Good stuff.
Awesome.
Got some Edge Cloud capabilities coming up. I know we got to have someone on the show to talk a little bit more about our Edge Cloud capabilities. That's a
Mm-hmm.
big development. I know that's gonna, change some conversations for some folks.
That'll be great.
But no, I think we're good right now. I think we're good.
Well, Adam, then that brings us to our next segment called "What Are You Watching? What's Worth Listening to?" Adam, let people know.
Not I haven't seen anything too new right now. I've been kind of heads down on a few projects internally with Quest. We got our new some new partner developments coming out. Got a new blog I've been working on.
Oh, nice.
So kind of haven't been hitting the old TV too much. Mainly got the Nintendo Switch. I got some little kiddos at home, and they've been dragging me in to play
What are you playing?
Mario Kart. So been playing
Oh,
the Mario Kart 8 with the 4-year-old and the 7-year-old at home. So
that's good stuff. That's fun.
yeah, yeah,
Very cool. Well, if you like, do you like documentaries?
love them. Yeah, yep.
There are a couple of good ones. The one that just came out on Bob Ross on Netflix is really good,
Hmm. Okay.
which is really interesting. I didn't know much about his life, and it's a really interesting documentary. And then the one on DeLorean, the guy, just DeLorean, who made the infamous vehicle. That is great. That guy is very interesting. He got a chin built That's not how you say it. He got plastic surgery.
Oh,
Got a bigger chin.
huh.
Didn't
And he
even know
built
that's a
a
thing.
and he built a car that when it was big in Back to the Future and then completely imploded, right? Something like that. Didn't work out well.
Yeah, so I haven't finished the documentary. I think it's 3 or 4 episodes. I think ultimately it's like drug smuggling. He got involved with drug smuggling to try to finance stuff. But
Oh,
so far it's very interesting. Like his where he built it, it was in Belfast during the war. It's very interesting. So good.
wow.
It's a good. The guy. Speaking of ego, oh my God. Speaking of ego, this guy,
Get
DeLorean,
you in a little trouble? A little trouble there?
little over his
Hmm.
skis. So
Hmm.
it's good stuff.
Well,
Good stuff.
right on. Right
Cool.
on.
Well, yeah. Thanks, Adam. Thanks for joining. Thanks for breaking down the stories. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we got to next couple episodes. I think we definitely want to talk about some of the edge computing stuff, and then definitely jumping back into that cybersecurity talk track. I think we were gonna have a couple guests come on, so
Cool.
it's all
Love it.
good. Hope everyone has a great week.
Yeah. See you next week.
Thank you.